So when Hyunjin sees who the owner of the house actually is, she's completely shocked. Out of all the people in this world, it just had to be Yoon Song. She quickly gathers herself, and before Taeyoung can open the door, she tells him to hide immediately and keep Wooju inside too. In panic mode, she starts hiding toys and picking up random things, trying to erase every trace like she's cleaning up a crime scene. And then she finally opens the door. Yoon Song is beyond surprised. He never expected Hyunjin to be standing in front of him. Meanwhile, Taeyoung starts connecting all the dots. Hyunjin had mentioned a guy once or twice before, and now he realizes this is her first love, and currently her manager, and also the owner of this house. Oh wow. Just then, Wooju runs outside. Taeyoung rushes after him, but steps on a toy and slips badly, falling in the most dramatic and embarrassing way possible. For Yoon Song, this is an even bigger shock. He's thinking, wait, is this Hyunjin's husband, and is that her child? But Hyunjin grabs Yoon Song just in time and takes him out to a nearby cafe where she calmly explains everything. He understands and says, oh, so he's your brother-in-law's brother, and you're both taking care of Wooju together. Yoon Song feels bad that at such a young age, she's carrying so many responsibilities. But then he asks why she lied about her apartment and why she always stopped near the next building instead of letting him come closer. There shouldn't be lies between us. We were good friends once. On the other hand, Taeyoung already felt inferior because of Yoon Song's strong personality and fancy car. And after that fall, he probably wanted the ground to open up and swallow him whole. But Hyunjin doesn't realize what's going on in his head. For her, it wasn't a comparison between two men. She apologizes and says she just panicked. Taeyoung misunderstands it completely and says, so you're embarrassed to show me in front of someone? Hyunjin insists that's not what she meant. She was just shocked. But Taeyoung doesn't stop. He brings up Wooju getting hurt and accuses her of hanging out with her first love instead. That twists the situation too far, and Hyunjin gets angry. She tells him he can never understand what she's going through. The weekend passes, and one day, Taeyoung is sitting with Wooju among his friends, still replaying that embarrassing fall in front of Yoon Song. His friends tease him, asking if things progressed with Hyunjin. He shuts it down, saying they're impossible, and their compatibility level is 0. He's just waiting for his house renovation to finish so he can move out. Meanwhile, Hyunjin's bestie makes her realize that Taeyoung's mood probably went bad because he was embarrassed. Maybe she should try to understand him. At work, Hyunjin pretends she only knows Yoon Song as her manager. Even Yoon Song notices how awkward things are becoming, so he keeps conversations strictly professional to make her feel comfortable. Now, on the other side, we see Amy Chu and the manager shown earlier. And surprise, he's not just her manager, he's her husband, and he's happily saying, finally, I'll be free. You found another guy you like as your assistant. Let him handle you. I'm tired. 20 years with you felt like going through hell. Just sign the divorce papers. And they're discussing divorce as casually as changing a sofa. She coolly replies, alimony won't come that easily. Court cases take time. Then Amy Chu calls Taeyoung. She's reviewed his photos. Normally, she doesn't do baby shoots, but she loved his work, especially Wooju's picture. Wooju looked adorable, and in Taeyoung's old camera, she also notices some older photos. She asks, is this the baby's mom? Your wife? He's shocked. No. Then your girlfriend? No. She smiles and says she uses old cameras and can read emotions through photos. You took her picture with a lot of love. That means somewhere in your heart, you have feelings for this girl. On his way back, those words keep echoing in his mind. Later, Hyunjin makes a plan. Some neighbors in the building have kids too, so she plans a camping trip to improve Wooju's psychological and mental health. She asks Taeyoung to join for a day, and he agrees immediately, thinking it'll help clear the awkwardness between them. But poor Taeyoung already struggles handling one Wooju, and now there are 3 more kids added to the mission. He looks at Hyunjin like, I didn't sign up for a daycare center. She just smiles sweetly because yes, she did bring him along for help. They start setting up the tent, arguing while working. Somehow the tent finally stands, though it takes forever. By the time they're done, Taeyoung feels like the day hasn't even started and he's already exhausted. Kids, tent, arguments, full package. But then he sees Wooju happily playing outside in the fresh air, laughing with other children. His face is glowing, and you can almost see the positive effect on his mental health. That sight melts both Taeyoung and Hyunjin. A neighbor's daughter named Mom, who is honestly a bomb not just by name but by personality, asks Taeyoung to take photos. He clicks beautiful pictures of all the kids, and Hyunjin ends up in many of them too. At one point, Hyunjin is talking to a neighbor, saying she does feel uncomfortable living like this with Taeyoung since she's not used to it, but he's moving out soon, and just thinking about that makes her sad. Unfortunately, Taeyoung overhears only half of it and thinks she can't wait for him to move out. His mood crashes completely. He even skips dinner. Hyunjin tries to feed him herself, but he pushes the plate away, and it falls. Frustrated and hurt, she goes out for a walk. While walking, Yoon-sung calls to discuss an email. During the conversation, she takes a wrong path. Later, a neighbor tells Taeyoung it's dark and Hyunjin hasn't returned. Her phone is off. Aren't you worried? Hearing this, Taeyoung forgets all his anger instantly. The neighbor also clarifies Hyunjin wasn't happy about him moving out. She was actually sad. She said he takes great care of Wooju, and he's a very nice person. Hearing that, Taeyoung feels deeply ashamed. He immediately goes out searching for Hyunjin, calling her name everywhere. It's a hilly area, and he fears she might be in danger. Taeyoung couldn't understand why he was feeling so restless for Hyunjin. What exactly was their relationship? Why did it matter so much? He keeps calling out her name in panic, and finally, he hears her voice. Hyunjin calls him from behind some rocks where she's been hiding. She was badly scared, lost her way, and even hurt her leg. The moment she sees Taeyeon, she feels immediate relief, like, okay, I'm safe now. He helps her stand and carefully brings her up. And of course, as if the situation wasn't dramatic enough already, it starts raining. Taeyoung checks her knee and sees a pretty big wound. He gently blows on it, and suddenly they both freeze, staring at each other. The atmosphere turns awkward real quick. He clears his throat, moves back, and says they'll get a bandage from a store later. Until the rain stops, they'll just sit there. While waiting, they talk. Taeyoung admits he never liked rainy days. Hyunjin, on the other hand, loves them. He explains the reason is completely opposite to hers. Whenever it rained, her sister used to come pick her up, but when it rained, he would wait and wait for his brother. The day his brother left him alone in the rain, he had promised, "I'll come back for you next time it rains." But he never returned, not once. Hyunjin feels her heart ache hearing that. His childhood wasn't just lonely, it was full of silent trauma that still lives inside him. Softly, she tells him, "From now on, whenever it rains, I'll come to pick you up. If you ever feel lonely in the rain, call me. I'll be your umbrella." Then she adds honestly, "Not every single time, but sometimes I will definitely come." And that small promise makes Taeyoung happier than it should. He lifts her up to carry her. Before she can even ask if she's heavy, he says, "You're light like a feather. Try eating properly." On the way back, Hyunjin makes him agree that they're officially buddies now. "If you don't accept that we're friends, almost like family, then why should I let you carry me?" He gives in instantly. "Fine, we're good friends." After camping, they all return home by taxi. Outside the house, Yoon-sung is standing there. The moment he sees Hyunjin, he looks relieved. He says her call had suddenly cut off and he got worried. Her battery had died. Honestly, she's kind of lucky. 2 men running around worrying about her. Hyunjin sends Taeyoung and Wooju inside so she can talk to Yoon-sung. But Taeyoung, obviously just casually standing by the window, keeps looking down to see how long they're talking, and then it gets worse. Hyunjin leaves in Yoon-sung's car. Now Taeyoung's mind is racing. Where are they going? When will she come back? In reality, Yoon-sung takes her to the hospital because he's worried her wound might get infected after getting wet in the rain. He gets her medicine too. They plan to meet the next day for lunch as a thank you, and Yoon-sung specifically asks her to bring Woo-ju because he wants to befriend him. Taeyoung falls asleep while waiting for her. The next morning, he wakes up late, feeling sick from being drenched in the rain. He's catching a cold. Hyunjin starts worrying immediately. If she had known he'd get this sick, she would have canceled her lunch plan. When Taeyoung hears she's going to lunch with Yoon-sung and taking Woo-ju, he feels deeply disappointed but hides it. Go, I can take care of myself," he says, pretending to be strong. Hyunjin keeps reminding him to take his medicine and call her if he feels worse. She leaves with Yoon-sung, but her thoughts keep drifting back to Taeyoung. Yoon-sung clearly still likes her. The way he keeps bringing up their college days, it feels like he wants another chance. He's very caring, orders the right food for Woo-ju, remembers Hyunjin's favorites too. They're not just eating, they're also surveying the restaurant since it's related to their food company. That's why it takes longer than expected. Meanwhile, poor Taeyoung makes instant noodles at home but can't even eat them. His fever rises. Then he receives the camping photos. As he scrolls, he notices how beautiful Hyunjin looks. Every picture he took of her turned out amazing, and Amy Chu's words echo in his head. The photo shows you like this girl. At the same time, Hyunjin keeps texting him, even calls a couple of times. But Taeyoung is half unconscious with fever, completely unaware. After lunch, Yoon-sung suggests going out somewhere else, but Hyunjin refuses. When he learns it's because she's worried about Taeyoung being sick, he grows quiet and sad. Somewhere inside, he feels uncomfortable that she's living under the same roof with another man. Late at night, Taeyoung wakes up and sees Hyunjin asleep in his room. There's a wet towel beside him. She's been trying to reduce his fever. When she sees him awake, she looks so relieved. "Finally, I was about to call an ambulance. Your fever was really high." And then Taeyoung says the words he's been holding in. "Why did you come so late? You know I hate waiting. I get anxious when I have to wait for you because I think I've started liking you." So the moment Taehyun confesses, Hyunjin turns completely red. She doesn't even get a chance to respond because the doorbell rings. Talk about timing. It's that same neighbor, the one whose mistake broke their boiler. His mom has sent over some homemade dishes as an apology gift. He casually walks inside like he pays rent there. Taehyun sees him and the guy starts teasing, "Looking at this house setup, you two don't seem like a couple at all." Signals him to stay quiet and sends him off. Taehyun looks at himself in the mirror and panics. "I confessed looking like this? Oh my god." Instant regret mode activated. Hyunjin had stayed up all night taking care of him, so the next day she oversleeps. Taehyun watches her sleeping peacefully and gently covers her up. When she wakes up late, she rushes to make a quick meal, but the second she sees him, she gets so awkward that she starts acting like her system has glitched, picking up random things and almost running away. On her way out, she blurts, "I made porridge for you, and Woo-ju already had breakfast. Take care of your health." Taehyun stops her and asks softly, "Did you eat?" No one had ever cared for her like this before, but now Taehyun does. And seeing this growing care between them, Woo-ju looks unusually happy too, almost like he's silently shipping them. Then Hyunjin gets good news. She had applied to a wonderful daycare center for Woo-ju, and finally there's an open spot. She immediately messages Taehyun the address and tells him to drop Woo-ju there before heading to work. Taehyun gets Woo-ju ready, which takes forever. Socks go on, socks come off, shoes become toys, total chaos. But when it's finally time to leave him at daycare, Taehyun feels strangely heavy-hearted. He spent an entire month with this child, day and night. He had planned to move out soon, but why does just a few hours away feel like someone placed a rock on his heart? Woo-ju is just as attached. He looks at Taehyun almost like a father. While filling out the form, Taehyun accidentally writes his own name in the guardian section instead of Hyunjin's. He considers correcting it, but when he looks at Woo-ju's face, he can't bring himself to erase it. Wooju adjusts well, makes friends quickly. When Taehoon is about to leave, Wooju hugs him tightly and shakes his hand like a tiny gentleman. Taehoon wonders how he'll handle this distance once he moves out. He takes many photos and later sends them to Hyunjin, but accidentally sends his own selfie instead. Before he can delete it, she sees it, and her best friend, standing right there, says, "Wow, your relationship has reached selfie level now." Hyunjin admits, "He told me last night that he likes me, but I can't believe it. He had fever medicine. What if it was sedation talking?" She feels awkward ever since. Her bestie teases, "Or maybe you still have feelings for your boss Yoonsong? He was your first love." But honestly, Hyunjin is just nervous. Later, she goes to a meeting with Yoonsong. Afterward, he takes her to a cafe connected to old memories. There's a drink she used to love. He says whenever he came there, he wondered if she had tasted it that year. During the conversation, he realizes Taehoon is only staying at her place temporarily. Hearing that, he says he feels relieved because her living with another man bothered him. Meanwhile, it's Taehoon's first day as Amy Chu's assistant. The manager gives strict instructions. One mistake, and Amy will chew you up and spit you out. Clearly, pleasing her is not easy. But Taehoon isn't doing this for money. It's his passion. For the first time in a long while, he feels something inside him completing. When he returns home late, Hyunjin gets awkward again. Before he can say anything, she rushes to explain random things and then runs to shower. He feels bad. Maybe his confession made her uncomfortable. Then he gets a call from the contractor. His apartment renovation is finished early. He can move anytime. But instead of happiness, he feels sad. He never truly had a family growing up. Now, Hyunjin and Wooju feel like one, and leaving them hurts. He talks to Hyunjin and clears things up. "If my confession embarrassed you, I don't need an answer. I just wanted to be honest. I'm not good at hiding feelings." Hyunjin realizes one thing clearly. He wasn't talking under sedation. He truly likes her. At that moment, they notice Wooju sitting unusually quiet. Suspicious. They turn around and see he has completely destroyed Hyunjin's cute handbag. She can only scream in shock. The next morning, Hyunjin leaves without breakfast. As she says bye, Taehoon suddenly puts food in her mouth. "Take care of yourself, too." From then on, this becomes routine. He drops Wooju, she picks him up. But there's tension in the area. A stalker has been targeting single women, breaking into apartments. Taehoon messages her to be careful and offers to pick her up. Then he purposely finds faults in his apartment renovation to delay moving out, even though it costs him more money. More time with them is worth it. One evening, Hyunjin accidentally misses her bus stop because she falls asleep. She has to walk back alone. Taehoon waits anxiously at the bus stop. She tells him to go home, but someone is following her. She starts walking faster, terrified, until Taehoon suddenly appears in front of her. "I knew you'd come from this stop," he says. He gently scolds her. "If you were scared, why didn't you call me? Promise me, in every trouble, you'll call me first." She pinky promises. He gives her a gift, pepper spray. "Keep it in your handbag." But when he tests it, it sprays right into his own eyes. The way he starts crying, even Wooju would say, "Calm down, uncle." She takes him home, splashes water, and after a while, he opens his eyes. The situation is awkward. She slips while rushing out of the bathroom, and he catches her in his arms. The next day at BS Food Company, it's announced that Korea's biggest photographer has agreed to work with them, Amy Chu, and her assistant, Taehoon. Hyunjin is stunned seeing him in her office. Colleagues whisper that they've seen him somewhere before. Yes, the infamous lobby video. After the meeting, they decide to have dinner together. Amy dislikes gatherings, but her manager loves them, so they go anyway. At dinner, everyone keeps asking about Taehoon and Hyunjin's relationship. They clarify they're not married, not a couple, just distant relatives. Yoonsong quickly emphasizes they are not a couple, clearly uncomfortable. Later, during games, both men subtly compete, trying to prove who is closer to Hyunjin. At one point, Yoon-sung wipes something off her face and Taehoon nearly spills his drink in jealousy. He blurts, "Hyunjin didn't tell you how close we are. Last night, she really spiced things up for me." He meant the pepper spray, but Yoon-sung definitely took that differently. During the game, Taehoon wins and in excitement hugs Hyunjin. Realizing how that looks, he awkwardly hugs everyone else to normalize it. Yoon-sung loses the game, but later takes Hyunjin to watch fireworks. She finally explains why she left him in college. She found out he gave up his scholarship spot for her. She felt pitied, not equal, so she left. He admits he knew the truth, but stayed silent so she wouldn't feel bad. He drops her home. As she climbs the stairs, Taehoon calls to check if she reached safely. While talking, she notices her apartment door slightly open. Inside, everything is scattered, and then she sees a shadow moving out from within. She screams. And that's where this part ends. Stay connected to see what happens next. Bye-bye.